y'all's heads are kind of cut off.
Yeah, kind of.
And Chima got a big one.
That
so.
really popping
No,
up.
I got a big head.
Okay, it's
All right, there we go.
Yeah, look, my head look normal.
All right, y'all ready? Because hey guys, and welcome back to another Hey Dr. Helene. So I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys about kids in med school, about being married, etc. Things that I cannot answer because I do not have that experience. So I have these lovely people here who are married / have kids, and they can better inform you about how they've been able to juggle those things while being in medical school.
Right.
Before we get started, go ahead and like this video and be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any other videos.
Or else.
Anyways, hello? Without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce these lovely people.
Hey everybody, my name is Martin Campbell, aka Marty Mar, aka Doc Martin.
Oh.
What else am I supposed to say?
How long you been?
How long have you been married? You had the whole
All right, hello everybody, my name is Martin Campbell. I've been married for 5.5 years and we have 4 beautiful children.
Hi, my name is Dominique. I've been married for 2.5, almost 3 years, and I do not have any kids.
Hello, my name is Chimo Kemere. I've been married for 3.5 years and I don't have any children either.
Hey guys, my name's Ashley Marie. I have been married for 9 years and I have 1 child, a 2-year-old daughter.
Awesome. All right, so how did y'all meet your significant others?
I met my wife when I was in Texas during my kind of gap years in between undergrad and medical school, and I met my wife at church.
I also
Nice.
met my husband at church.
Look at that, you guys! Look at that! My role models here.
I met my wife at church too, so.
Look at that, you guys! Look at my role models here.
I did not meet my husband.
What was that even?
I met my husband during my senior year of college, and we met at a kickback.
You know
We
what?
safe now, praise
They
Jesus.
said no. Amen, amen, amen.
Yeah.
And what do your significant others do? Are they also in medicine?
My husband is not in medicine, even though he thinks he is, because he watches all the medical shows. He is in business. He is a senior VP of procurement at Coca-Cola. And I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
She just cashed a check. She
Right.
don't gotta know what it means. You know?
Right.
My wife, she's currently pursuing her bachelor's degree. She's finishing up her bachelor's degree in sociology, and she's gonna pursue a master's in social work.
Nice.
My husband is in a PhD program at Georgia Tech for mechanical engineering.
And my wife is a registered nurse.
Yes, she is. All right. So, seeing that most of your significant others are not in the medical field, how has it been with them adjusting to your medical school life when y'all started med school?
All right, whew, I'll talk about that. So prior to coming to medical school, I was working 2 jobs. We were in Texas, but whenever I was home, I was completely, committed, and I was at home. And that completely changed when you start medical school, because even when you're at home, you're not at home, okay? Because you have to study and your mind is just elsewhere, especially during the first 2 years of medical school. So I think that was the biggest adjustment. I always had my weekends off before. I was helping more with the kids and with like homework, and I was cooking more and doing different things like that. But when we moved from Texas to Atlanta, not only was it a culture shock for my wife, because she had never lived in Atlanta before, and I have lived in Atlanta before. We had no immediate family, nobody to watch the kids, nobody there to kind of help, so we can kind of get a break and have date nights and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so during first year, it was a difficult transition.
Okay. And how have you adjusted to that throughout med school? Has it gotten better?
So it's gotten 1,000 times better. Number one, as you progress through medical school, your schedule kind of gets a little bit lighter, especially when you get past step 1 and after 2nd year. But in addition to that, I had to learn how to be more efficient, because I didn't have time to waste. Whatever free time I had, that was family time.
Yeah.
So I couldn't spend 12 hours learning something. I had to get it down in 4 hours and be able to retain it.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I learned how to compromise. I learned how to communicate effectively. I learned how to be more on a schedule. Normally I'm a kind of go with the wind, loosey-goosey kind of guy, but I had to kind of create a soft schedule where I would be intentional about spending time with my wife,
Okay.
planning family time, going to the parks and stuff like that, and planning date nights and stuff.
Come on now.
Yeah, I feel like one of the biggest helps in medical school in our relationship was actually my church family, because there were guys like Martin and Chima who were in my class and also go to our church. And so they were able to really explain to my husband, like, no, like, she really is that busy. I feel like sometimes he just thought that, I don't know, I was at school, like, having fun, like, I don't know. So I feel like that kind of helped put things in a perspective for him, kind of getting close to my classmates.
Yeah.
A little bit closer than I would like, but, you know.
But look at you now.
We love you, Jess.
Oh, I think for us, the first year was probably the hardest because we didn't live together. We were planning our wedding my first year of medical school, and so trying to make time to talk about wedding stuff and also just spend time together as a couple was probably the most challenging first year, especially since I spent so much time on campus studying.
Yeah.
But I think that year, like Martin said, helped us to learn how to create a schedule and to prioritize, because prioritizing is so important in medical school. Studying can take up your entire life, but med school is really not your whole life, especially if you're married and you have kids. So we had to learn how to prioritize spending time together, and I think that helped us lay a good foundation for the rest of medical school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And for myself, it was the first 6 months of med school, we were separated because my wife was in New Jersey, I was down in Atlanta, and we didn't live together until we officially got married. But so that was challenging, having to communicate long distance wise with the med school burden. And then even when she came down here was also hard, because again, my wife was a registered nurse, so most people assume that means she would understand the requirements and demands of medical school and medicine, but not necessarily. So it was a lot of working through and a lot of communication to kind of get on the same page and being very intentional with our time.
Someone wanted to know, is it possible to have a family in med school?
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. It does take a lot of sacrifice. Once again, I can't commend my wife enough. I love you, sweetie. Can't commend my wife enough just for the sacrifice that she make, because I can only be as great in medicine as things are stable at home.
Right.
And so my wife's a very strong woman. She doesn't complain a lot. She just does, she does what she needs to do for the family. And but I think it's definitely possible, but you gotta have buy-in. Everybody has to be on the same page.
Yeah.
You have to be able to have those difficult conversations about realistic expectations, roles and responsibilities, and you kind of have to be adaptive and flexible, because things will change as you go from med school. First year is different from second year.
Yeah.
Real quick, I know when I was studying for step 1 exam, I had about 5 weeks to study, but I was studying like 14, 15 hours a day. I had to talk that over with my wife, and so we had to just kind of, clear things up and make a schedule that we both could agree to. So it's possible, but you gotta have the right support, you gotta have buy-in.
Yeah, as a woman in medicine, a mom in medicine, Martin's wife and I were actually pregnant at the same time.
And when was that?
That was first year.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
After
yes.
Yep.
And I mean, it's, being a parent is difficult overall, being a parent in medicine. But being a mom, I carried my child with me literally every day for those 40 weeks. My classmates remember me wobbling around campus, like when I was like 9 months pregnant. I had my daughter 1 week exactly after our last mini board. And so I was literally in our neuro mini board, like trying to tell her, like, please stop kicking me. I'm trying to focus on these questions right now. But I think one of the biggest things is really knowing your relationship and knowing who you're married to. I think if I was married to someone who was very big on traditional gender roles, it might have been a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
My husband is absolutely amazing. Like, he does bath time, he does night time. We have like, our roles are not set in stone. It kind of depends on where we are in, different seasons.
Yeah.
And so
Same here.
when during 4th year, now that I have more time, I have the time to like cook and clean and be mommy all the time. But during 3rd year and 2nd year, I didn't necessarily have that time.
Yeah.
And him being able to step up and like really take those roles was absolutely amazing.
Honestly, it's just what I'm hearing, it's just really nice to have a supportive significant other.
Yes,
like if you
definitely.
don't have that, it's going to be extremely difficult. Not to say that single moms can't do it, because they do, and we have people in our class who are single moms who have done it and like are amazing. So it really just depends on your lifestyle and like your family dynamic, but it can truly work if you want it to work and you put in the effort. So, and this question is more geared towards Dominique. So you got married while in med school and you planned, well actually both of y'all, and y'all, you know, were planning weddings while in med school. Can you just talk a little bit about that and how you were able to balance that?
So planning a wedding in med school, I'm not gonna lie, I had a more hands-off approach than Dominique did, just because of how things worked. My wife really pioneered that and had a lot of support in doing it. So thankfully I was able to help her make some of the bigger decisions, but she also gave me a lot of grace with the smaller ones that she made. And you know, I love her and I know that she has good decisions. So that was my experience.
Okay, so planning a wedding first year, it had its highs and lows. So I knew going into it the type of wedding I wanted to have and how big my wedding was going to be. So I knew that I was going to need help. So I decided to have a wedding planner because I thought that was super important to have somebody who can talk to all the vendors and help coordinate all the things while I was in the trenches of med school. That was incredibly helpful. I highly recommend it if you're planning on getting married in medical school. I also had 2 maids of honors and amazing bridesmaids who helped take care of things. She's one of them. Who helped take care of things so I didn't have to worry about it. So that was amazing. Great support system. Additionally, my husband, he was super involved in wedding planning. Like he was just as excited as I was about planning the wedding. So there was a lot of things that he handled while I was studying as well. I think that first year, in my opinion, getting married first year was probably the best year to do it because it's the only year you have a true summer. So we got married at the end of first year. And I was able to go on my honeymoon and enjoy my life for that summer before second year started. There are people who get married later. God be with them because it's gotta be harder. But yeah, I just recommend, I say it's very possible as long as you have a great support system, you have somebody to hold you accountable for getting things done. And I also chose to get married in Atlanta. So I know a lot of people from out of state. I'm from Philadelphia originally, but my husband's family is here. And I was like, I'm not planning a wedding out of state because that's just too much stress with already trying to figure out how to be a med student. So planning it locally also helped a lot too.
Nice. And then Shima, when did you get married?
So I got married January 1st of my first year.
Okay, so 2 people that got married their first year of med school, and they highly recommend that. So if that's something that, you know, is on your heart, that may be a good time to do it. So I was also asked, is it possible to date in med school? I mean, I still don't really think that I'm the best person to answer that question. But I mean, there's a lot of my classmates who are dating, who got engaged while in med school, who were dating, have a boyfriend now or a girlfriend in med school. So I mean, the thing, like, you have time outside of med school. So I just want to put it out there that like your life should not be wrapped up 100% in medicine. Like you should have things outside, you know, hobbies, spending time with family, spending time with friends, you know, you have that extra time. And so yes, you can use that time to date. Personally, I just haven't really found the one. And like, that's okay. I don't think that I'm getting too old. Like, yes, I'm surrounded by like the majority of my classmates and friends are all married, but like, I still feel like there doesn't need to be a rush to like get married and have kids like while in med school. Like it's okay, like your time is your time and it's gonna be just fine. So yeah, I'm not really too pressed about it. Okay, if you had to get married all over again or have kids all over again, would you have done it in med school like you did, or would you have waited until residency or later on in life?
I don't think I would have changed anything. We didn't exactly plan to get married, but we had also been married for like 6 years, so it wasn't like a not plan. But it was fine. Like, I think people think it's really hard, and I mean, it is difficult, but as I said, being a parent is difficult. It's like being a parent and having a demanding job. You just do it.
Yeah.
All right, so my wife and I, we had 2 kids prior to med school, and then we had two kids in medical school during first year summer, and then during third year, like while I was on like a trauma surgery rotation. Definitely wouldn't do it any different. I think everything kind of plays out like the way that it's meant to, and that's just my personal belief. So yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I wouldn't have changed how we did it. I absolutely would have kept everything the same. I think having the support of my husband through the rest of medical school was like a game changer. So I'm very glad we got married first year.
And I second that too. Being married brought a lot of balance to med school, because I have a tendency, or I'm sure most people have a tendency, to just want to put all their energy into medicine. One, you really shouldn't do that. It's better to be well-rounded and have a sense of time off from it. So
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Do y'all plan to have more kids in residency? And then for y'all, do y'all plan to start your family in residency?
Like I said, I got 4 kids. The answer is emphatically no.
You say that now, but watch next year.
Next year.
Have another baby. We're gonna be like Martin.
I actually am planning on having another baby in residency. My daughter is 2, almost 3, and so I got the advice actually from one of our attendings at Morehouse that after the first 2 years of the OB residency is probably a good time, because those first 2 years is like a really steep learning curve. So I'm thinking maybe around 3rd-year residency, and my daughter will be like around 5 at that time. We might try to have another baby.
Oh,
It's beautiful.
nice.
Yes, I plan on starting my family in residency, so not now. I forgot to mention that I am a dog mom, and that is very much a thing. I am very much a parent, and he takes a long time. But I do plan to have human children sometime in residency after internship, not an internship.
Sound like an alien.
Okay.
Same. I'd probably start building our family residencies as well.
Cool.
Human children?
Human children.
No more
Just
fur children.
Gotcha.
Fur babies.
And I don't have kids. I don't plan to have kids until I get married. But I am a cat mom. You guys know this, so I have a little responsibility at home or whatever.
Shout out to Ollie.
This is the face of real parents. When we hear pet parents talk about this.
Whatever.
That's cute.
Whatever.
And
then last question, any general advice just for people who are thinking about starting a family, thinking about getting married, kind of within this scope of medicine, what's some quick bullet points you want to give them?
When you trying to build something with somebody, you need to look
Make
at
sure
the
they're the one.
entirety of that person and see, okay, hey, 10 years from now, is this somebody I'm gonna want my son or my daughter to role model after this person, right? Is this somebody who I'm gonna want to build with something long term? Don't chase fads, don't chase money, don't only chase looks, because once again, those things are fleeting. And
Say it.
when you get older, all that stuff is gonna fade.
Yeah.
All you're gonna have is the person that you're with. So make sure that you pick the right person.
Well said.
Yes. Very well said.
I would say communication is a really big thing. Whether you're in a relationship, thinking about getting into a relationship with someone, thinking about starting your family, or if you already have a family started, you can always improve your communication with your significant other, and that will do nothing but improve your relationship.
Good.
My advice would be to live your life. So medical school, like we said, is a part of your life, but it is not your whole life. So don't feel like you have to put everything off until you're done with medical school. There's always going to be something consuming your time career-wise in medicine. But also be patient. Don't try to rush a relationship or rush to get married and have kids because you feel like time is running out. This is your journey, so make sure that you're pursuing relationships with people who you're actually compatible with, who you love, and who you can build a great supportive relationship with.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback that, but I'll also say be cognizant of your relationships, not just your significant other, but make sure you're nurturing them, because there could be a tendency to want to put them on the back burner, which is not appropriate and really not sustaining either.
Yeah.
So make sure you take the time to nurture those relationships, whether it's your spouse, your significant other. If you're talking to somebody, don't just kind of throw people to the side in the name of medicine.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something from this video, and that your question, that if you sent in a question about, you know, being married in medicine and having kids in medicine, that it was answered fully in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to click that like button and also to subscribe to this video. Comment below with anything else you want to see, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.